Hello, my friends. I welcome you to another episode of Habit Talks. And today we have Mr. KT LWIN. You may know him from the previous episode which we uploaded on YouTube. He is a very interesting person, and he's going to share a lot of insights today. And he's going to share. Uh, Previously, he shared a story about his time at DUFFERIN. Today, he's going to share his story about the time he spent like after the friend, and so his life after the friend, so that it is going to be very interesting. So welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So
Good
sir,
afternoon.
let's begin this session with a very interesting question. Do you think sailing was the best career in those days, and how do you think it has changed over the period of time? Do you still think sailing is good for good to choose by youngsters?
Personally, I love sailing. I love sailing in a boat, and that's my personal choice. But really, at the moment, as a profession, sailing is out of date. Certainly, out of the picture, and also the ship navigation. Nowadays, a young man has to look forward to a new profession, nothing to do with ships and navigation, but more interesting, what you call career, based on internet and Wi-Fi and information technology, and now, of course, very much in demand are the the space age, going by rockets to the other planets and so on. And there's a heap of other things that are brand new and very challenging. These are the things that the new boys should follow. As a hobby, you can sail a boat, you can go in the lake or in a river and sail and have great fun out of that, just like you have fun with the video games. But as far as a profession, you must go for the modern technique.
Yes, sir.
So that's what you want to know.
Yes. I actually wanted to know about that, and that is very interesting, sir. And thank you for sharing your opinion on that. And sailing is now is not as you say, is not the perfect choice for a person. Well, sir, please tell me about your greatest achievement you during your life.
That is a very uh, challenging question for me to answer. Yeah, what I think is biggest achievement may not be considered as such by another person. So it is only my personal view. Uh, I have two uh, achievement that I am proud of in my life, and it all. The first one was when I was in the Navy, in the Navy, and the second one was when I was in the Merchant Marine. Okay? So I would say that I started the Navy. I joined the Navy from the DUFFERIN reluctantly because I could not go to sea in a Merchant Marine as a cadet. I didn't have the money to pay for the indentures. So anyway, after I got in the Navy, I liked the Navy life, and then I stayed in the Navy during World War II for about 4 years. When war ended, I continued in the Burma Royal Naval Volunteer Reserve, and then when independence was achieved for Burma in 1948, uh, the chief of the Navy uh, wanted me to stay with him in the Navy, not go back to Merchant Marine. So I stayed with him at the War Office as a young, the country was not at peace. Some of the Burmese political uh, organization like communists, uh, they went underground and they tried uh, to bring down the government. And we had quite a precarious time to keep the government in shape. And and then there was also another faction called the Currents. They are very militant race, and they had been trained by the British as soldiers during World War II. They also changed sides overnight to help their families who they thought were trapped near Rangoon. So they came down from where they were stationed 200 miles up from north from Rangoon, and they came down with motorized column with led by uh, tanks and a couple of tanks and a gun carrier, armored column. That we had no means of stopping them, but we had to try and stop them. So we sent up a small group of troops with available, but they didn't have any artillery. They only had their own small weapons. So to back them up, uh, I suggested that we also send the Navy. We had a training gun, automatic firing gun for anti-aircraft. It was an old World War II relic we used for training, but it has wheels, so it was mobile. And we used that gun, ambushed the column. They didn't expect us, and we ambushed that column at night, and that actually uh, what you call stop the column, and we surprised them, and we were lucky to be the winner of that encounter. And I believe that if we hadn't stopped them, we would have lost Rangoon and we lost the government. So I believe that we did save we did save uh, Rangoon. I had written a book about this, and maybe you can see it here. You see the gun and myself there. Yeah, and that is me wearing a carbine. Yeah. So if you want to know more about this, that you get this book or buy it and read it all about it. So I am proud of this, but at the moment I'm not so proud because I don't know whether this is the right thing I did. So that is a question that bugs me at the moment, but I will not talk about that. So this is my proud moment in the Navy.
I also want to know about your day to day life during these times. Like you're 90-year-old now, almost you're 95 years old almost. So please tell us about your time.
Yes,
How do you spend your time about your day to day life?
right. Today, 90 at 94 plus. Yeah, I I have an agenda. I believe in an agenda for the whole day. I don't stay idle. I don't want to stay idle. Yeah, of course, I'm handicapped with my movement at my age. I cannot run. I can walk with a stick. I cannot shout. I cannot talk too much, and so on. But anyway, I keep myself occupied. Even during the day, I wake up at around about 6:30. Yeah, and then immediately I say my prayers. And after my prayers, I would go down. I live in an apartment condo, five stories up, and I walk down the stairs. I don't use the lift, and I walked in our estate which is very, very pleasant at the moment. No traffic, no, only people walking or be on bicycle. I walk for half an hour, and I come back. I don't use the lift. I climb up each flight slowly to tire myself as an exercise. And when I get here, up to my fifth floor, then I have a young boy who's taking care of me. He's about 17. He prepares my breakfast. And I have a healthy breakfast. My breakfast of, I would start with muesli with milk, skim milk, and then one poached egg, and then some fruit and a cup of coffee. After that, I would be on the internet, on Wi-Fi internet, and going through my mail, and then I would look at the Facebook, and then catch up with, and then see what's happening in the world, especially in our own country. So yeah, that takes me actually all morning. Uh, and my lunch is around 12 o'clock. And for lunch, I have uh, not a vegetarian meal, but I do not eat. I avoid beef and pork. So I try to minimize meat so that I am healthy. I eat more fish and very little rice. And after that, I say my prayers again, and then I'm again on the internet for an hour or so. Then I have a nap in the afternoon, about 3 till about 4, and then I have my English tea at 4 o'clock, and then I take some exercise, a light exercise. After that, I'm again on internet. Uh, that, but in the meantime, in the evening, I take a drive with my electric car sometime around our state, about 10 minutes. Go to the riverbank for a few minutes. Watch the river. I love watching the river because I was at one time a harbor pilot in the river, so I like to go back there, look at the water, see the tide going in or coming out, and try to old days. And then I come back before 6 o'clock, and then internet, and then by 8 o'clock I have my light dinner, uh, and then yeah, again on internet, watching YouTube, mainly YouTube, and then I sleep quite late. Routine at the moment.
Yes.
Does it answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing that interesting timetable of yours. It was very interesting to know that. Can you, sir, please tell us about your passions? What passions do you have at your age right now? Please tell us about that.
My passion is for gadgets. I love gadgets. I am not an electronic man, but I'm a user of electronic gadgets. I love anything that is new, anything that's electronic, and anything that is what you call labor saving and something that is useful for the people. Right now, my passion is electric car. You know, before I mean about it was about I think 2 years ago. I I have heard about electric car from Japan. Japan started. I think it was Nissan started with electric car, a small electric car. Uh, I managed to buy one second hand here to see what it was like. I liked it very much, except that every you charge full and you can only go no more than 50 miles, which is about just about sufficient for a day, but you cannot go out of town. Anyway, but I had the first use of electric car and I fell in love with it. So I used that car for a year, and then I sold it, and then I found that there was imported new electric car from China, and that was actually a better car than what I had before. It go in 150 miles, and I bought that about a year and a half ago. I still have it, and I'm using it. And then I read about Tesla. Tesla was more than an electric car. It's a computer device on four wheels. So I was very interested in Tesla. Tesla do not export to Burma, but I managed to buy one in America through a friend of mine who exported it on a ship by container ship to Rangoon. Now I'm using it. I've had it for since November. So I'm very happy with my Tesla and very proud of it also.
Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing that. That is a very interesting passion you have. You continue to explore, and at such a age, it is very interesting. Not many people do that. And sir, can you please tell us about any dreams which you would like to fulfill in the coming days?
Well, most people, when they retire, they think that's finished, no more work, and they can just, do nothing. I think that is very wrong. Most people that I know, or people my contemporaries, they as soon as they retire, they became depressed because before they retired, they were somebody. They had a company or they had the government department, and they were high up on the echelon, maybe the head of the department, and everyone was respectful to them. But the day they retire, nobody would take interest in them, and nobody come and see them, and so they become very lonely and desperate. So they either start drinking or they meditate. Either way, they become very reserved, and I think that affects their morale. And then most of them they died early because of that. There was no other incentive to live. I find that I would uh, try to occupy myself. I treat every day as a bonus for me, and then I try and do something useful during the day, and then also I keep in touch with my family. I've I have my half my family in Australia, and I have a brothers in Australia and in USA, and I have a lot of people that I contact with by what you call internet. Then I talk on Messenger all the time. So that way, I try to keep myself alive. The other, I think, advantage of that is that I keep my brain active, so I can remember. Touch wood, I can remember since even the day I joined the DUFFERIN, and then I have there were 26 cadets on the DUFFERIN of my batch in my class, and they went by alphabetical order. So I still remember their names like Ahmed, Bade, Bhattacharya, Bhattacharji, Quetzalino, Dinshaw. You go on like that. Now I can remember. Yeah, yeah. So
So
that's how I think. But I don't say that I'm right, but that's how I do it.
yes, sir. And any passion I asked about that is very interesting. But can you please tell us about your passions? What passions? Sorry. What dreams would you like to fulfill in the coming days?
I do not follow your question exactly. Is it passion
What
or dream or what?
what passion what dream would you like to fulfill in the coming days?
Dream, you say, no? Dream, eh? Is that what you meant? Yeah. Yes, of course. That is my dream and not only my dream, it's my wish and my prayer that the world comes to peace. Everywhere in the world there is no peace, not enough peace. There always somebody fighting the other, either by arms or by other means when the greed comes in it. So I believe that it's time that we think to learn to live peacefully so that we can take care of ourselves and our neighbors and live a peaceful life and everyone enjoy and have fun and not be what you call arguing or fighting with each other. This is my dream. And especially in my country, we are going through a very difficult time at the moment. We want to be democratic. We nearly were democratic. Now, at the moment, we are really uh, in a very precarious situation. And I hope that we all parties concerned will get together and uh, then negotiate on the table and have some understanding so that we live peacefully. That is my dream.
That